Good morning, good morning. Hello, Keenan. How are you? How are we this morning? I hope everyone had a great weekend. Hi, Hundar. How are you? Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. We have our special guest today. She's hanging out in the green room. Good morning, Mischief. I'm about as live as I'm gonna get. Well, then you need yourself some Wake the Dead coffee, Mischief. That's what I'm drinking right now, and it's coursing through these veins. I need to wake up. As you know, my youngest grandbaby, she doesn't sleep through the night, so she was up at 3 o'clock this morning. So I'm battling wanting to go back to sleep. But anyways, let's get this going. Good screaming horde. I hope you had a very great weekend. Thank you so very much for digging yourselves up out of your grave to join us on this very special coffee chat of horrors. I am excited to introduce to you our guest. Her name is Layla Omorose. I hope I'm saying her last name correctly. She's an author and an artist. We have some of her work to showcase. I'm really excited. As well as, before I forget, today's coffee is brought to you by Wake the Dead, the official coffee of Coffee Chat of Horrors. Let's go into our coffee scene and say hello to Layla. Hi, creepy. I am ReAnimateHer. I know, it just sounds like a porno all of a sudden. Some zombies start stripping their clothes off and shit.
Captain, details later.
We got our ball cleavage back, ladies.
They're coming to get you, Barbara. They're coming for you, Barbara.
Do you want to game and get your jollies off as well? This is Coffee Chat of Horrors. Oh, good morning. My intro always makes me laugh. That ball cleavage part always gets me every time I listen to it. Good morning, Macabre. This lovely, lovely lady that I am sitting next to is Layla. Layla, how are you today?
I'm good. How is everybody?
Fabulous here. Keenan, do you know that Wake the Dead coffee is actually Coffee Chat of Horrors coffee? Good morning, Taco Smurf. How are you? Now, Layla is a artist and an author. Some of her work you can see right here in the gallery. And I'm going to give the floor over to Layla so she can tell us a little bit about herself.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Layla J. Omorose. I write urban fantasy and paranormal romance currently. And I also run a craft channel and a shop, LJRoseCraftCreations. Most of the time, I'm immersed in all types of horror and snuff stuff.
Ooh.
And my creativity. So yep, that's a little bit about me. I'm a little weird and awkward with introductions when I first meet people. So
I feel you. I'm the same way, and it takes, I have been doing Coffee Chat of Horrors for almost 5 years, and it was, I think, about 4 years into it did I finally start feeling a little comfortable, especially introducing people and sitting in front of everybody and talking to them. Yes, another
Right.
snuff fan. It is always weird, right? Because it's a strange thing.
I should be used to it, given book signings and all of that. But
Nah.
I just introduce myself a different way. I haven't found my
Right.
shit.
Your nice little script or whatever that you're gonna say. Yes. And as a writer, does that aggravate you that you haven't quite found your little about me? I hate about me's.
It does, because I don't know what to put on my websites. I don't know how. A lot of times I get caught up in like how I should pitch something, because between my books and introducing myself, everything changes up every like 5 seconds, and then they're like, "Well, you didn't say this last time." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little annoying, and I get jealous of my friends that can do it. They do it so well, and I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to talk to you guys.
I am with you on that. It takes me forever. My little intro, Good Screaming Horde. I hope everyone has had a great weekend, and it goes into digging yourself up out of the grave. That took me forever to write. I sat here for like, I don't even know, days trying to think. I'm not a writer, and I don't have that creative spark, and I'm just sitting there and what the hell do I write?
Oh,
And
but it's so great. It's so
thank
great.
you.
And I like the horror warning. I love it.
Thank you. Yes, yes, I'm all about the horror. Uh, I and Macabre is another snuff fan. I like snuff films as well. There was one film that I seen when I was younger. I was like 16. We got it from the video store, and it was like the cover was just all black. There was no lettering, no writing, and we thought, okay, this can't be real. So we grab it, we rent it, we watch it. It looked really real. This is back in the day when VHS was the thing, not DVD, VHS.
Oh, do you remember the name of it? Because I might want to watch it.
No, I can't even find it. I've had people in the horror community look for me, and I explained that it was in the 70s, definitely in the 70s. It was like a satanic type of cult. It was mainly women with one man, and I've had people looking for it. We can't find it.
Oh, wow.
There is a snuff film from the 70s, and it's called Snuff. You probably have seen it.
Yeah.
I think everybody has seen that one. But yeah, I can't seem to find it. And there used to be some really good websites like gore.com or something like that. We used to have one here in Canada that it was huge around the world, and that's basically what it was. It wasn't really snuff, but it showed real life events like nasty accidents and crap like that. My first question for you is what inspired you to be a writer? Like, what sparked that feel for you?
I would have to say it would be my grandmother. In all honesty, when I was younger, she made us like sit in the backyard and read. She was like, "You're going to go outside, go read, and I'm going to ask you about the book." It took me. She did that for years, and it took me forever to realize that she didn't read any of these books. So I could have just pretty much told her anything, and I would have been okay. But
Yeah.
I would read the entire book because I was the good one. I didn't want to get in trouble.
Right.
So that's what started it. And then growing up in the urban community, we only had urban books, and I got bored with that. So then I started branching out, and then I wrote my first book, which I will never let anybody see ever, when I was like 12. And I had no idea what I was talking about. And then after that, life started happening. And then I was in college, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And I was just like, give me some type of sign about what I'm supposed to do. And that night I had a dream about the Cerebrus, which inspired my first series. And it was like a Cerebrus shooting lightning into the air. And then I had like the book in my head, and then it just branched out from there. And I've never looked back.
Oh, wow. That's cool. And then nobody is ever going to see that. You're going to tie it away in a vault for your 12-year-old book.
I'm going to rewrite it.
Are you?
I can stand to get through it. It's so bad.
We start somewhere, though. That's awesome.
Yeah, that should be burned. It's so bad.
And that was really great of your grandmother to do that, to get you out there and start reading. And because, if she didn't do that, would you still have become a writer? Would that still have been in your cards?
I think I'd still be interested in, I think I still would have, because I'm still interested in the arts, and,
Right.
and it just would have took me probably twice as long, because nothing's easy for me. So
Yeah.
I would have probably just been twice as long. But I think I still would have ended up in the same spot doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel you. There are certain people in my life that have inspired me, and I think that I would have eventually gotten to that point, but it would have been a lot longer to get to that point if they didn't inspire me at that age or that time. So I definitely understand that. Good morning, Joy. You didn't miss much. We just got started. I know. Did YouTube not give you a notification? Now, we've gone into your books. When did you start doing your artistry and creating these amazing dolls? I really love that pinhead. You're gonna see it in this right here, but I love that one. When did you start doing these?
I think a few years. I think a few years ago, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, and it all started because I had tried reaching out to other artists to commission work,
Hmm.
and they either blew me off or they never got back to me. And it's business, so a reply is nice,
Of
you
course.
know. So I get frustrated and I say, I'm gonna do it myself, and that's how it started. And then I started with my own characters, and I just moved up to what I do now because I'm just like, oh, this is great.
No, those dolls are amazing. I actually creeped out on the Facebook page and I was like, oh my
Yeah, there's some
God.
in the back. I got the remaining horror ones. I got they're in the back, like
Yeah, those are great.
Pennywise, and I just finished another Pinhead and Pennywise custom.
Oh, that's awesome. Ah, you
So
remember
yeah.
VHS? Oh, if anybody in the chat has any questions for Layla, please, by all means, ask. You're more than welcome to. If you want to check out anything of Layla's, her artwork, her books, just do exclamation point guest in the chat. It'll pop up some links. I will also have a whole bunch of other links in the description, so you guys can check out everything. Now, when did you start dabbling in art? And it was the dolls the first thing, or like were you doing into drawings or paintings?
No, I draw too. Not the best person at it because I can't focus uh what I need to focus to get the level of artistry I want. So
Mm,
but actually all through my life I've liked to color, I've liked to draw, especially in art classes in college. I cosplay a little bit, so I would make costumes and things
ah,
like that. So I've always been into the arts, and it's just a great way to express myself,
yeah,
especially when I'm battling one of my bouts of depression or when I had anxiety
right.
and things like that. So it just helps so much.
Oh, that's awesome. And you do cosplay? That's great. What is your favorite cosplay that you have done?
My favorite one, because I scared little children, was Pennywise.
Yes.
That was my favorite one, and then I did Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have the actual claws, so I bought the actual replicas.
Right.
And so I would go to the Halloween Day parade and just rake my fingers along the buildings and just like scare people. It was the best. So I would say yeah, Pennywise though was my favorite because I just scared people. I couldn't close my mouth because I had the teeth in,
Yep.
so my mouth was always like half like open with the teeth, and I had blood everywhere. So
Oh,
it was
that's awesome.
it was yeah, it was Pennywise.
That is great. Yeah, no, Pennywise is scary. The Tim Curry version and the Skarsgård version are both really creepy. I find clowns creepy to begin with, and yeah, I can
They
see
do. They
that.
are. I understand people's fear with clowns. I love it because you can just make them as creepy as you want.
Oh
Actually,
yeah.
I think I love Tim Curry as Pennywise. Like he's the original classic. But
Mm-hmm.
I do like the way they did the new it, because to me he's creepier
I would
now,
agree. I
other than just being a clown creepy. He's just like a monster creepy.
Yes, and I think it's the shape of his head.
Yeah.
They both have two different shapes, and I think his head is just a little bit more creepy than what Tim Curry brought. But
Hmm.
I find the normal looking clowns pretty friggin' creepy in itself, like the happy ones. I'm like, yeah,
Yep.
they are creepy. Dahi, good morning. I hope you're doing well today. And yeah, Pennywise, oh, yeah, it's a great cosplay to do. Uh, and so you said you've been drawing for a while and you have a hard time focusing. Is there anything that does help you focus for your drawings?
Um, Usually I have a lot of background noise helps. Like I'll throw in like when I really need to focus, I'll throw on a horror movie or a Tyler Perry play. There's really no
Oh,
in between with me.
yes.
So that helps me focus, or I'll put on some music and just let my iPod run.
Right.
It's just with the drawing, it takes up so much time for me to get it what I want. And then I'm always constantly, I have to finish this book, or I have to finish this repaint, or I have an order. And so it's just like drawing is not the what I'm
Right.
best at, but I do enjoy it. As you can see from I
Oh
do all
yeah.
those, except for, obviously the professional ones back there.
Yeah, no, I see all your art stuff. That's awesome. I have my youngest spawn and my oldest spawn. They're both artists, and my youngest one can do music as well. And yeah, I encourage their artwork because
It,
you got to
it's
encourage them to do these things. They're talented. It's a natural talent. Not everybody in this world is able to pull that off. And I can't. I don't even know where they get their
it
friggin'
is.
um creativity from because I suck at drawing. I don't paint. Good morning,
Well,
Reaper.
there's always some creativity there. Horror, look at it. You love horror,
I do.
so that's creative in itself. Because a lot of people, I'm just discovering a lot of people do not like horror. I knew people
No,
didn't like it, but I'm like, guys, it's not that bad.
a lot of people don't like horror, and well, horror is really huge, but the community seems like it's really big, and it really isn't that big
Yeah.
when you get down to it. But it's I think it's one of the most creative genres out there.
Hmm.
I mean, look at the monsters they come up with, and the killers, and yeah, I don't know. I
Oh
think it's
yeah. You could just run rampant, and it's okay.
right. Exactly. That's
I
what's so
love
great
it.
about them. Um, what is your favorite horror movie?
Ooh, Pumpkinhead.
Oh, I love Pumpkinhead. It's such a sad story. It makes me cry.
And I heard they're doing a remake.
Heard that.
I have mixed feelings about it because if it's a lot of CGI, it's not going to go well, as with the later Pumpkinheads. But if they do practical effects, I think it'll turn out pretty good as long as they don't try to alter the story too much, like what they did with Candyman and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed. But Pumpkinhead is definitely hands down my favorite horror movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. That Lance Henriksen is the father. It always
Hmm.
makes me teary when you see the opening scene where the father is at his store, they're minding their own business, you know?
Oh, it was such a heartless, heartless. Well,
Yeah.
not all the kids. I think what the brother was the only one I was rooting for to live. Everybody else could have died.
Yes.
Um, but it was just, and then that intense stare he gave, like it was filled with so much hate. It was so good. It was
Oh,
so.
it's definitely a good storyline. And I agree. I'm not really huge on the CGI. I like a little bit of CGI, but I'm more of a practical effects. I think they just feel more of a reality than how it's perfectly done in CGI. I don't know.
Yeah,
I love the 80s horror films for that reason.
I
And
still I agree. I think practical effects beats CGI any day.
oh yeah, for sure. And I think that's what's wrong with a lot of the movies nowadays. Instead of going the practical effects route, they just rely on the CGI to make their film.
Yeah,
I,
and that's the problem with a lot.
I really liked the reimagining, or actually not even reimagining, but I guess the continuation of Candyman, Nia DaCosta's Candyman. Um, it wasn't bad, but what I didn't care for were the off-screen kills. Like, and what I mean by off-screen, there was that scene where they're in the apartment with the I think she was the art dealer, and he's walking away, and you can see her in the glass. You can see the spirit of Candyman there, I guess, picking her up and throwing her around, but then the camera is
Yeah.
like going away, and I'm like, no, zoom in. I want to see.
I I had so many issues with that movie when I watched it. It was just right up there with Child's Play, the
Y-
remake. It was
Yeah.
it was I think I might have hated Child's Play definitely more because Chucky is my second favorite.
Oh yes.
But but
They
and I have
changed
a
him
funny story for
completely.
that too. I used to be terrified of Chucky.
Oh.
Terrified. Like I used to hate horror movies. I was so scared of them. And what happened was a family member of mine had chased me around the house with a Chucky doll when I was young. And so I was terrified of it. And then I think Bride of Chucky. I remember Bride of Chucky had just released in the movies, and I looked at it because I think I was maybe 12 or 13. I was older. I'm like, he's not as scary as I remember him being. So I
Hmm.
watched Bride of Chucky, and then I'm like, after that, my Chucky fear went away. Oh, we have a spawn creeping in the background.
Oh. Do, yep. Oh, that's hi, honey. I see you. I sees you. They seen you first. Say hi.
Oh, the puppets from Puppet Master. Oh yeah, they were scary.
The puppets from Puppet Master, definitely scary. Hi, TFR. Look how big she's gotten, guys. This is my eldest grandbaby.
Oh.
They're here on a sleepover. They don't sleep.
No, they can't. They can't. They have to be doing something. I have a funny story though.
Yeah.
I'm friends with the creator of Puppet Master, like actual friends with them.
Oh wow.
And Killjoy, because I love Full Moon.
Yes.
Full Moon. And what happened was I did this this Betty Boop repaint, and I had posted it on can you see it?
Yes, yes.
I had did that.
Awesome.
And so I had posted it on Instagram and on my Etsy shop, and the actress, the original who played Betty Boop, basically was not too nice about what I had repainted. So she was
really,
she was very rude and called me out my name and all of this, talking about plagiarism, and she tagged the creators. Now, because I didn't want to get sued, I reached out to the creator directly.
Yeah.
Reached out to John directly, and he was like, "It's fine." He spoke to the other producers and the actor who played Killjoy, because that's also one of my favorite movies that nobody's ever seen.
I know, right? It's underrated.
Yep. And then so he spoke to all of them. They loved my stuff, and they were like, I have permission to make any character that they want, and if it reaches a certain amount, then we'll have to talk business. But I legally have permission to make. So that was awesome. And then the creator, they read my books. It's just so crazy. So that's my story about that, about what Puppet Master and Killjoy.
That's really cool. Yeah, no, I know Killjoy. I know it's a very underrated film. Not many people have seen it. Like, if we ask the chat, how many people in here have seen Killjoy? If you haven't, it is on Amazon. Well, Amazon in my country. But that's really awesome. And how dare somebody call you out like that? It's not like you were claiming that her look or whatever is yours. You just repainted it, actually made it better.
I was like, it's inspired by one of my favorite movies. Check it out. It's on Full Moon. If you don't, you need to watch it. And I just praised them. And then for her to just go and do what she did, it hurt my feelings, one.
Of course.
I liked her. And I almost stopped watching Killjoy. I almost was like, I'm never going to watch this again. But I was like, I can't do that just because she was a jerk. But but yeah, so that was an interesting thing. So you never know where life takes you.
Yeah, no, you never know. And that's really awesome. You Puppet Master, you know them. And TFR is saying that he knows the guy that did the music for Basket Case and Brain Damage, both Frank Henenlotter films. Yeah, I really love Frank Henenlotter. I love it. My favorite movie by him is Frankenhooker, though.
I haven't watched that yet. It's on my to watch.
It's so cheesy. It's so good.
I was like, how could I not watch something called Frankenhooker?
I know. It's an awesome film, and if you like Frankenhooker and you like the movies like ReAnimateHer, you'll really like a film called Patchwork. It was released in 2015. Oh yes. Patchwork pays 100% homage to ReAnimateHer from 1985, which is how I got my name.
And your name is awesome. I love it.
Oh, thank you very much. TFR, you've never seen The Evil Dead, and so many people at my job gave me crazy for it. Pop, so I finally watched all three. Oh crap, not crazy. Gotcha. Yeah, autocorrect can be a pain in the ass. But that's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I love the Evil, like all the Evil Dead. I do enjoy. I think the Evil Dead remake was one of the better remakes that I've seen in a long time.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, the 2013 by Fede Alvarez. He did an amazing job with Evil Dead. Definitely.
And Army of Darkness is just hilarious.
Yes.
I can't take that movie serious.
No, you can't, but it's awesome. There's a new Evil Dead game coming out. I don't know if you play video games at all.
I do. I'm a hardcore gamer.
Yes, same here. Evil Dead is coming out with a game. It comes out May 13th, and if you have Xbox, they're actually doing a beta. The beta ends today, but it's
Oh, I don't have Xbox. That's the only one I don't have. That's the only one I don't have. I have
yeah.
literally every other system but Xbox.
Well, thankfully the game is coming out for all platforms, and it's going to be cross-play, so you'll be able to play with everybody and anybody.
Oh, I have to check that out.
Oh, and it's great. You have the characters from the franchise and the TV series.
Oh, I have to check it out.
Kelly is by far my favorite.
Oh, hi, a serial killer.
Hello, Serial. How are you? Awesome, TFR. Yeah, I think you're gonna love the game, Layla. Even TFR says you're gonna love the game. Mm-hmm. It's have you ever played the game Friday the 13th?
I was just killing everybody. I played it. Yeah. I didn't, honestly, because I'm more into role playing games. I didn't honestly think I would enjoy it as much as I did. But killing the campers was just so fun. I killed way too many campers. I think I enjoyed that a little too much.
I feel you.
Jason Styles.
I always had that evil laugh going when I'm cutting people down. I'm like, I'm gonna get you.
Yes. So, because my friends had they had downloaded it, and we were all playing it at their house. So that was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I play it with my friend. A serial killer here also plays it. He plays it quite often. I just started back into it again. But it's a lot of fun when you get to kill your friends and you murder them like violently.
Yes. I do enjoy killing my friends and I'm the better gamer out of all of them because they play games, but they're not hardcore gamers. So
right.
I just have whatever game we play and it's multiplayer, I just enjoy it until they start doing, the little what do they call it? The little repetitive moves, and then it gets personal.
Oh yeah, especially when they bully Jason as well. Like those little bastards.
They all deserved it. Every kill, they all deserved it. I had no remorse.
I agree. I definitely agree. Now, out of your books that you write, if you guys have missed it and you weren't here in the beginning, this is Layla. She is an artist and an author. She writes some paranormal love stories. How did you get into the paranormal side of things?
So what happened was when I went back on my it was in college, and I was an English major, and so when I picked up Sherilyn Keene's Devil May Cry because I very dumbly thought it had something to do with the video game. I really did. And so I bought it, and I'm like, this has nothing to do with Dante. So but I started reading it, and then I got hooked, and so that's how I got into paranormal romance. But the problem is when I start binging everything, it all becomes repetitive, and all the storylines of all the authors I was doing, even though I love their work, I was like, I can do this, and I can probably do it better because I'm into horror and mythology and all of that. I'm like, there's other creatures. There's so many creatures besides gods and witches and elves and all of that you can make into it. And I'm like, they need love, and that's how I got into it. But my stuff is also very dark and graphic.
Nice.
So I took the romance part out of it because it doesn't focus on the romance.
Right.
And a lot of the readers can't handle, what happens. Like, my people get raped by monsters. They like beheadings all over the place. Got
That's awesome.
Like the one I'm working on now, they're in hell, and the demons are not cute demons. They're literally personifications of all the sins. So some have like double penises that can choke you to death, and it's I should give like warnings, but I don't. So, but that's how I got into it. I'm working on I was talking actually with Brooklyn because she's my critique partner.
Yeah.
And I steal so much from her. Like, I'm her fan, and I tell her that all the time because she the aspects that I don't have, she's really good at, like giving the characters little memorable quirks and stuff like that.
Right.
And we're both big on horror, obviously.
Yes.
So we're both working on her horror. She told about her horror one. I was like, don't give away too many details because we were talking about that.
Yeah.
And I'm working on one as well, which is an inspiration from a mix of like Ouija and It. So it's like a combination of Ouija and It, and like a haunted house.
Ooh.
And so I'm working on that, and hopefully I can have that out by next year, which is basically she's a evil spirit, but she's obsessed with childhood. And it's more about the ghost and the
Right.
journey of how she became the evil spirit than it is about the people surviving. So a lot of
Right.
people gonna die. It's gonna be fun.
Ooh,
Um,
that sounds like fun.
so it's right. So I'm just working on that. So hopefully it'll be released next year. And then I can say I have a horror book out.
Yeah. On that note, guys, you may want to stalk all of her socials so you can get your hands on this stuff. Explanation point guest in the chat as well. It'll be in the description. You guys will be able to click on all the stuff and follow her Facebook, Instagram. There's the Amazon link there as well. Definitely TikTok too. So if you've got the TikTok, you can go there and follow her. And Serial says that we do need nasty demons, and I completely agree with them. We need some nasty, dirty ass,
This book is I'm writing it and I'm like, oh, my imagination is just going. It's just gone because I love demons and hell.
Yeah.
That's where I find mine. So I bought so many books. I bought Solomon's Lesser Keys. I bought all these demonic books. It's very hard to find angel books, but
Yeah.
I swear my mom thought I might have been in an occult because I bought the Necronomicon. I bought all this stuff, and I was reading it like
It's research.
So it was crazy. I think Macabre asked,
Oh,
"Have I ever
yeah.
wrote something and halfway through I thought it was too far?" No such thing. But there was one time that I was even. It wasn't really horror related. It was more like it was a threesome with some monsters, and yeah, that I was like, oh, well, this is a porno, and I was like, I want to see how people are going to react to this. So I did not take it out. I left it, and I edited it to be more graphic. So
That is awesome. We are gore whores here. Joy Toy and I, the more gore, blood, guts, and ass I get to read or see on my screen, the better.
Oh yeah, I love it. If it's not, besides my guilty pleasure is gore, and there's not much that grosses me out. Like there's nothing really that gross, so I can watch, except for like like little pus fingernail stuff, like
from the fly.
Yeah, like popping I can't do, which is weird because I can eat while I'm watching people get decapitated.
Yeah.
I being fried, and so I can do all of that. There's not much that grosses me out, so the gorier the better.
Yeah.
And when when there's not gore, it has to at least have a decent story or something.
Yeah.
Because I'm for the gore. I'm definitely a gore.
Right?
Whore.
We have another gore horror sister in the house. It's funny because not everybody likes that. Not everybody likes the splatter and the gore. Body horror, like David Cronenberg's.
Yes.
Oh, when he did The Fly, when he worked on the remake of The Fly with Jeff Goldblum in 1980. That scene with the fingernails.
Oh yeah, like fingernails popping off. That it was great. I love the graphics. I love but I don't know what it is with me and fingernails. I'm just like, ooh, maybe because I've almost lost fingernails. I think that's what happened. I'm just
if you've ever had your nails done before and the acrylics and you almost like rip your fingernails off, you know the pain.
Yeah. So definitely. I really don't have a line where I won't watch. Like I don't have any real boundaries. Especially I watched a Siberian film.
Yep.
Twice.
Yep. Same.
And
I own it.
Yeah. Me too. Finally, somebody else who owns it.
I enjoyed the film. I see what they were trying to do, right? A lot of people see this film and they're disgusted by it, and I'm like, I see what they were trying to do in this film, and I love the artistic aspect of that. Yeah, okay, there was some shit, right? You're like, oh my god, how did you even do that? Like, how did you even act that out?
The baby part caught me off guard the first time I watched it. The newborn, that one, because I couldn't figure out if that was a real baby. I didn't know if it was real or not. And so I think after that, it was the only time I watched a movie and my mouth was hanging open by the end of it. Just on that one part. Everything else.
I agree with you.
But But and now I'll make all my friends watch it. I'm like, you gotta watch it. You want to be?
You gotta watch it. You have to at
Watch
least
it.
watch it once. You can't. I mean, I do tell people to watch it, and I do say, hey, trigger warning, because this touches every aspect of like huge taboo no-nos. And they'll watch it and like, I'm never watching that again. I'm like, oh, okay, but you can't say you don't like it, and you can't bash a film until you actually seen it. And a lot of people bash the shit out of this film. My favorite death scene in that movie is Milo skull fucking the guy to death.
Oh yes, that was. I think my favorite one starts with when he kills the girl and he like beheads her and he's still going.
Yes,
like,
yes, and he's because he has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, it was, and this. I think the saddest moment is when he realized he was sleeping with his son. That one. I was like, oh.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You feel bad for him as well because he is a victim out of all of this. You know, each person that this underground dark web people were doing, Milo was just a pawn in that whole scheme. And you know, he was a victim, the chick was a victim, and you're thinking about all these people and how they can even do something like that. I mean, I'm sure this kind of shit actually happens in real life somewhere, right? So to even think about that, and I think that's what turns people off about this film, and they don't want to see it, is because they, whatever in their mind, they just can't handle it.
Yeah, I but I make everybody watch it. I'm like, you gotta watch it. I put it on sometimes without warning, but if I know, I'm like, here, you gotta watch this. Especially if you tell me you like watching like stuff that thank you, Monkey Man.
Monkey, good morning.
If you say you like watching like stuff like that, and I'm like, all right, so you gotta watch this because so far this is the only movie that even I was like, oh, okay. The first time I watched it. After that, I was just like, whatever.
Oh yes.
I love all the human centipedes.
They're fun. They're fun films. Have you seen Solo?
I haven't. I'm trying to buy that on DVD.
It's hard to get.
It is. So I'm trying to get it on DVD. I've seen a lot of breakdowns on it by Spooky Rice. He did a breakdown on it on YouTube. And a few other YouTube channels I watched. So I'm trying to get that because I know if I watch it, I'm gonna own it. So I'm just gonna skip over it and just buy it.
You're definitely gonna want to. It's good. It's another shocking film. It's artistically shocking as well. And I agree with you, Macabre. I don't like films that just go to shock people to be shocking. I haven't really seen many films like that. A lot of my favorite genre is shocking and disgusting. Or disturbing. That is my favorite genre in the subgenre section. So these types of films are up my alley. There is a film that I'm going to recommend. It's hard to find. It's called Headless.
Oh,
you'll love it. It's decapitation head. So a quick little blurb about it. They'll cutting heads off, so decapitation, and then having relations with that head, but not from the mouth point of view, but from the actual.
Oh, okay. Yep, definitely on my alley. Watch that.
It's hard to find, but I actually found a DVD and I bought it because I seen it first, and we found Headless because Joy Toy recommended a movie called Found. Found was released in 2012. It's an independent film. Have you seen Found?
I haven't. It's on my to watch list. I haven't
definitely
seen it.
Watch it.
I just recently found out where I can watch it at.
Found is an amazing film from the perspective of a child who loves horror, and it's a great film. When the kids are in the bedroom, they're watching a horror movie, and that horror movie is Headless. So Headless didn't really exist until 2015, but they utilized the fake trailer that they made and put it in the film. And then the film was made in 2015. Both films are great.
Okay, I have to check out.
Oh yes, it's great film. Especially if you like gore, and I know you do, then Headless is going to be right up there for you.
Right, got it. Because what happens with me is real life to me is scarier than pretty much anything you'll find on TV. Especially with me being accident prone and being in car accidents and breaking stuff. So there's nothing on horror that scares me, and I'm just waiting for a movie to actually scare me now that I'm an adult. So I just
Right.
watched oh, it's scary. How scary is it? And my friends know not to recommend anything to me if it's not past their level of scary, because there's 1 to 10 will be mine too. So I'm just like,
I
yeah.
feel you on that. People are like, oh, this movie is so scary. Or a video game. This video game is so scary. I play it and I'm like, oh my God, I'm falling asleep. Are you friggin' kidding me? There's a game called Visage or Visage. I don't know how you pronounce it. And everyone's like, this game will scare the shit out of you. I'll be the judge of that, because I play horror games and that's all I really play. And I love jump scares and I love being scared. It's the adrenaline that I get. And I played Visage and I was falling asleep at the game. But people were like, this game is so scary. And I had to take breaks from it. And I'm just like, hey, your scary and my scary are completely different.
Totally different things. Right? I agree, Monkey Van. Yes, I'm so axed. I broke both my ankles last year.
Oh.
I broke my ankles last year just simply going outside trying to get my dog. So I'm so accident prone. It's not even funny.
I haven't broken ankle, thank God. Knock on wood. I am accident prone myself.
Yeah. I think the only game that I do, there's been a few jump scares because I play a lot of Souls games and RPG games. I think the only one that really gave me a jump scare, and it's probably because I wasn't paying attention, was a monster I was fighting in Bloodborne.
Oh.
And because it was dark, and my room was dark, and it just came out of nowhere, and I just wasn't paying attention because I don't get jump scared easily.
Yeah.
So I saw was teeth and blood, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And then I proceeded to die a few times before I actually killed it. But that's it. I haven't played Red Dead Redemption yet.
Yeah.
The Nightmare version. I haven't played that.
I tried to play it. I did. I tried to play it, but then it came to a part where I had to skin an animal. And I have my line when it comes to animals. I hate animal abuse and having to skin them and
yeah, it's funny because I really don't have a lot. I don't want to see it because I never do it in real life.
Right.
So like when I see it in movies and stuff, I'm like, I feel sad, but
yeah.
But I don't really, it doesn't affect me in the way it affects a lot of people, even though I own animals. I love animals. But I know I'm not going to do it.
Right.
I know if I see anybody doing it, then we have, that's just not going to be a good ending for them.
No, not at all.
But I don't know. Like some people are really, just, like I've had people say they won't read a book because, the dog dies in the first 5 pages. So
I'll read a book if an animal dies.
There's some things that happens,
Right. Oh, yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. Oh, and Scott, Jacob's Ladder is a great film. Have you seen the remake of Jacob's Ladder? The original Jacob's Ladder is awesome, and the remake I found was pretty awesome as well. They changed it.
On Netflix, right? I
believe so. I thought it was very well done. They changed a tiny bit of it, some of the story, but I think it was very well done. I think it's one of the better remakes. I'm sorry, you can hear my grandbabies. All 3 of them are there hanging out.
A serial killer said he's so scared of Hannah Montana and Carly. I liked iCarly. I that was guilty when I was younger. I watched iCarly. I did.
That's awesome.
I didn't like Hannah Montana, but I was an iCarly fan. Not now though. So we'll just
yeah.
Just say that.
And I guess Joe Hill has lots of dog death in his books. I haven't read much of Joe Hill. But Joy Toy is a big reader. So she's like, leave dogs alone, Joe Hill.
Yeah, I haven't read a lot of Joe Hill either.
What's one of your favorite authors?
One of my favorite, okay, I'm not going to count my friends because that don't count. I would say my favorite author is can I give like my top 3 or top 5?
Yeah, give me your whatever your tops want to do. I know it's always hard to say top of just like number 1 because as someone who loves stuff, there's always more than one.
Okay. So my favorite, all right. So my favorite, I'll do my top 5. I think I got 5. Stephen King. obviously. Maya Angelou,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Toni Morrison. Um, I like Ted Dekker because he does more of the like the psychological thrillers. Um, and J.R. Ward.
Nice.
Hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, it's such a see. It's so I'm so like wide range. I tell everybody like it depends. You got to break it down genre. You got to break it down
I do the same
category.
thing.
I read everything. Like I read everything, foreign literature too. So I'm like you can't. I was like just break it down and then I can give you a top.
Yeah, when people ask me my favorite horror films or favorite horror film, I'm like, okay, so I have as many favorite films. They're broken down into genres.
Mhm. Yep, that's why I tell everybody. I was like, "What do you mean? So is it slashers? Do you want my favorite slashers? Do you want my favorite demons? Do you want just
Exactly.
favorite creature features? You know, just it's hard to do a top because I just watch so much, and I'm just like, oh, they all run together.
Yeah. Well, when you were talking about your current book that you're writing, that you're hoping to come out in um next year, I kind of had almost. Have you seen Nightbreed?
I have seen Nightbreeds.
I would have liked to see Nightbreed a little bit more. I think it's a great film, but I would have loved to see Nightbreed a little more aggressive.
Yeah,
And
I
when you
agree.
were talking about your book, I'm really piqued on that my interest in your book because I like that kind of monstrous demon, but it has to be like demon. We have so many nice, you know what I mean,
No,
demons
I don't.
and
My
monsters.
bad guys, if they're bad, they're just bad. There's no redeeming quality. And you'll know if it's a secret. I'm told everybody this, so I'm spilling the beans here. If I make a good bad guy or he has good traits, that means later on he's going to get redeemed. Because
Mm,
my bad guys are just bad. They rape, they do whatever, they use people and with no regard. Because I feel like if you're gonna write a bad guy,
it's
write a
got to be
bad guy.
bad.
Like if you're gonna make him a demon, like he's evil, you know, make him evil. He could be hot. Because I'm drawn to the hot evil people.
Of
So he all
course.
hot, but they're evil, you know. Um, so yeah, I don't like when people flower. That's one of my big issues I have with a lot of movies and things.
Yeah.
Make a real bad guy, make him bad.
Make him bad. I agree with you 100%. It's the same like Twilight. I've like sparkly vampires. What are you doing?
I admit, okay, so I knew nothing about Twilight. What happened was I was in college. This one's another good story. I was in college and I saw the poster, and I was like, "What?" I literally said, "What the fuck is a Twilight?" And so loud. And they were like, "You didn't read the books. It's about vampire." Now they said vampires. They didn't say nothing about sparkle. They didn't say nothing what it was really about. They
Right.
just said, "Oh, it was about vampires." And then I'm like, "All right, I like vampires. I like Brad Pitt in Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah.
I like vampire. All right, I'm gonna read it." I did. I got hooked on the books because of the hype.
Yep.
And so I finished it, and Breaking Dawn is still the better book out of all of that. I will argue with anybody. I was Team Edward until I saw Robert Patterson play him. And I'm like, ew, no. Because in my mind, he was Brad Pitt from Interview with the Vampire. That just happened. I know he didn't look like that. I know that was not what's going on. But in my mind, that's what's happening. Um, and so I watched, and because of that movie, because I've watched all of them, unfortunately, I cannot read first person, and I just can't read any Stephanie Moyer. I can't. I can't read her, and I can't
I
watch Twilight ever again.
yeah, I've never read the book and I've never really actually seen a full film.
No,
And I've seen bits and pieces. The minute I heard that vampires sparkle, I was like, oh hell no. You just
yeah,
changed everything. No.
I tried to give it a shot. I'm like sparkles, okay, maybe we get some explanation as to why they glitter. Maybe we never. No, it didn't even make sense. I'm like, no.
No. I love the wolf part. I love that.
Oh yeah,
Uh
it
that
was.
was great, but sparkly vampires are no go for me. I love monstrous vampires. I love 30 Days of Night vampires.
Oh yes, those. Yeah,
Those are
like
my those are my epitome of what I would say a vampire is. A lot of people love the Bram Stoker and the Interview with the Vampire, which they're great films. Nothing wrong with that. I just look
I
at
like.
vampires as they're thirst bloody creatures that are want to rip your throat out. They don't want to make love to you. They want to eat you.
I like both. I
I
think I
like
like
them both.
both. I think I blame it on Brad Pitt. That's why I'm gonna do this. I blame it on Brad Pitt.
He
But
was a
I
very good
do
looking
prefer them.
vampire.
a little bit more aggressive and more monstrous, rip out your throat,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah, like the vampires from John Carpenter's
Oh,
Vampire.
yes, they were good.
Um, Even though the second one wasn't that great, but
No.
I let it slide. But and the vampires from Dusk Till Dawn,
Yes.
they were great. Um, and so many vampire movies. Oh
There
my
are
god.
so many vampire movies, and the ones from Dusk Till Dawn were more of a reptilian vampire by the way their bodies transformed
Hmm.
and their face, and then they bled green and not just
Yeah.
blood.
Yep. And they were reptilian, and some of them look like pigs. Like one of them,
Yeah,
he looked like one was a pig.
the way
I
the
don't remember the
nose
actor's
went,
name.
right?
I think the two guys that got turned, the black guy and the Sex Pistol, I think that was the other
Ah,
one. I
yes,
don't
Tom
remember that
Savini.
person's name though.
Yes, yes,
And I think both of them turned one looked like a bat and
yep,
one looked like a hog.
yep,
And I found that they look different. They look monstrous. So I did like that. That's one of
yeah.
my. The TV show was actually decent.
Yeah, I'm actually just started watching the TV show, so it's not too bad. Joy Toy wants to know, have you read any Jack Ketchum's books?
Mm-mm. Not that I can recall off the top of my head, but if she want to recommend her favorite one, and I'll check it out
Yeah,
because I'll always read something good.
yeah, no, Joy Toy has great recommendations. Joy Toy, what is your favorite book by Jack Ketchum? And Jack Ketchum's I believe one of his books, that was Woman, right? That was turned into a movie. There is a film that Joy Toy had me watch, and it's a really great film. And I believe the name was called Woman, based off of one of his books. Now, I hope I'm not wrong on that one. Uh,
Oh, The
30.
Brides from Van Helsing too. I agree.
Oh, The Brides from Van Helsing was great. The Woman, yes, is a movie. Is that one of Jeff Ketchum's books? I mean, Jack? I don't know why I call him Jeff. Also, The Girl Next Door.
Oh, I've seen The Girl Next Door. Did I read the
Hmm.
book? I don't think I read the book. I've definitely seen The Girl Next Door. I do like that movie.
Both are Jacks, yes. The Woman is really good. I would recommend The Woman. Monkey wants to know, what is Layla's favorite Stephen King book and movie series?
Pet Cemetery,
Yes.
hands down. Pet Cemetery. I love the original one. I love Pets. I've watched that so many times. I might watch it again today since we're talking about it.
Hmm. Good film.
But when I listened to the audiobook because it's hard for me to get into reading the books right now. So I
Mhm.
listened, and I would say that was like one of the creepiest books I've ever I've ever listened to. I'm in the process of still trying to get through it.
Oh, yes.
So I'm like through the halfway point. Um, so I got mixed feelings about it. I like the beginning of the book, but this second part is just, I'm like, I see what everybody was saying about it. So, but Pet Cemetery, hands down, is my favorite favorite one.
Yeah, I love Pet Cemetery. The remake wasn't bad. I mean, they did pull the graveyard right out of the book, I think. But I prefer the original Pet Cemetery, as in film wise. I prefer the original over the remake.
Yeah, same. I think the original just had this creepy factor to it.
It did,
Um
and it was sad at the same time because it's the first time we actually see a kid get annihilated by a semi truck.
right. And I don't think the remake was bloody enough either
No, I don't think
because
so.
you get hit by a semi truck, there's a lot more blood than a droopy face. But I like the remake. I didn't think I would like it because I'm so hard on remakes, but
Yep.
I appreciated it for what it was, and I like the alternate endings
Mm-hmm.
that they had. I just wish they would have kept it, more to the book.
Yes.
And then the next one I like is Doctor Sleep.
Oh, Doctor Sleep was good. I
Yeah,
like that one.
it's funny because I didn't like the movie The Shining. It wasn't high on my list, but I listened to The Shining to prepare because I wanted to read the books before I saw the movies. And so I did The Shining, and then I was like, oh, I love The Shining. Like, what did they do with the movie? Because it explores Jack's alcoholism more. You get more of what was going on with the hotel is more of a living entity
Right.
in the book, and I'm like, okay, now I like The Shining. And then I went on to Doctor Sleep, And I was like, I love Doctor Sleep. The movie, it was decent. I didn't like the changes they made though, but whatever.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Doctor Sleep. That was like my second favorite.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Doctor Sleep. My husband, who's not a horror fan at all, he actually sat down. He's seen The Shining, and he sat down with me and watched Doctor Sleep, and he actually enjoyed it. So for that's the youngest grandbaby just came flying through. Um, they're running crazy. Hi. But yeah, he liked it, so I thought that was pretty awesome. So it had to be good if someone who's not into horror actually enjoyed it. Joy Toy says The Woman is the last of the Cannibal series of Jack Ketchum's Dead River series, and it's hella awesome.
Is The Woman on Shudder or like Netflix or something like that? Or
Oh, it might be. It might be. I don't remember where we
is she
watched
like
it.
the last of a feral tribe, and like the father like puts her in a basement and the son comes
Yes.
and does weird stuff
Yes.
to her? Oh, okay, I've seen that movie.
And that's a book.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was. I didn't know. So I have
Yes.
to check out the book too.
Yes, I need to get some more of Jack Ketchum stuff. My problem with reading is my eyes get tired. Plus, I don't have a lot of time to sit down and read. And so my eyes aren't used to reading. I do audiobooks. And everyone that I've had on the show that has audiobooks, I buy one or two of them and I listen to them because I get tired. I don't know what it is reading. And I think it's just because I don't read enough. My eyes get strained, they get tired, and it makes me go to sleep.
Yep.
So, but I love audiobooks because I can listen and work.
I just recently got into audio just because I do such long drives. Like I've driven to West Virginia, which is like a 8, 9, 10 hour drive. And so, I get tired. I listen to music 95% on the drive,
Right.
but I was like, no, let me do something else. So that's when I started listening to audiobooks. And I'm like, oh, you know what? All the books I want to read are on audio. I know I'm not going to read them because they're thick, heavy, and on paper they're small print.
Yeah.
So I'll just listen to them. So that's how I got into audio. And all my audibles are like Clive Barker, Stephen
Nice.
King, Anne Rice's Queen of the Damned.
I love
And
that
stuff.
movie too. Leah did such an amazing job in that film.
She did. I didn't like who they had as Lestat, but it's okay. I got over it.
Yeah, I agree. Her role is what is burned into my, whenever I hear Queen of the Damned, her role is what comes to my mind.
Yes.
I love what she brought to that. May she rest in peace. I love what she brought to that. And I think she would have been great in a lot of other horror films, vampire-esque or even paranormal.
Definitely.
Hello, Mr. Malice. How are you? Monkey wants to know, Layla, he wants to say, Layla, there is a 1997 miniseries, The Shining, with Rebecca De Mornay and Steve Weber that is very close to the book.
Oh, I have to check that out. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that movie was amazing, Joy Toy. Chico must be part cat, the way he dances around and fixes. Oh, he is. Yeah, you'll see him move his bed all the way around. And talking about puppies, Layla just went for a long ass drive and brought back a new fur baby.
Oh, I did. I haven't given her a name yet. I'm toying with Artemis. It's just as long to say.
It is. It is. It definitely is.
She's a she's a Keyshound, and what happened? As I was telling you before, my oldest pup died a couple weeks ago, and so I just had one, and so I was like, maybe now's the perfect time. I'm not traveling currently,
Right.
so let me go get the puppy, and thus I drove to PA, and then I had just turned around, drove right back. It was like a 12-hour day, but the puppy's adjusting. She probably tore up my living room.
That's
She's
what
already
puppies
annoyed
do.
with my other dog. She doesn't want to be bothered. She doesn't want to be bothered. But she's adorable. I was like, oh, because I went back and forth about getting her, because it's expensive when you go buy from the breeder.
Yep.
And, I went back and forth about this money and da 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 da. But once I got there and I saw her, I was like, oh, yep, bringing her home.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. You'll come up with a name. You'll see how she acts and what she does and her atmospheric
Yeah,
energy, and you'll come up with a name like that.
yeah. Because the name they gave her was Kelsey, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not
Mm,
happening. That's
yeah.
just I'm not calling my dog Kelsey.
No. uh, when we got all of our pets, I have four cats and one dog, and Mr. Chico is behind me. I always waited to see what they were like, their personality. So sometimes it took me a couple of weeks to name them because I wanted to see what their personality is like and how they react. And that's how I came up with their names. And my cats, Mr. Chico, and then there is Paul and Fusa, Kit Kat, and Socks. And her actual name is Socket, but she likes socks. So that's how I got the name Socks for her. And Paul is a bed napper, but the door is shut, and so he can't come in here to steal Chico's bed.
Oh.
My cat Paul he's 25 pounds. He's a big, big cat. And Chico, well, Paul is bigger than Chico. Chico is Chihuahua. So he bullies him and takes his bed.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cause my other Titan, it's funny, I named a Pomeranian Titan. Um he's smaller right now, so I'm just waiting for her to get bigger and bully him, because right now he's doing the bullying because he thinks he's the oldest because he's 4, and she's only 13 weeks, so he's trying to bully her a little bit, and she's trying to get around. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the tables to turn when she just get comfortable, and then she's gonna paw him like my other dude just to get away. Earlier
Mm-hmm.
today, she showed Titan showed a little food aggression, which is not normal for him. He has no type of aggression,
Right.
so I had to correct that. I was like, "There's no, because you can't go put your face in her bowl, eat all her food, and then she come over there and you get mad. That's not how. I'm the pack leader,
Exactly.
so I had to nip that in the bud. I had one food aggressive dog just once, and I didn't like it. It caused issues, so I'm like, no,
Yeah.
go
Always got
ahead.
to break that habit right away. Definitely. Out of your books here that I see, which one is your favorite? Because you have Seducing the Black Prince, Eternal Fire. Is your Eternal Fire and Eternal Earth your mythology um
hmm
series?
Yeah, so Eternal Light, Eternal Fire, Eternal Earth are the first in my series, my very first series, and it deals with the Cerebrus from Greek mythology.
Yep.
And they have to find their mates before the ultimate evil has to be unlocked, like always, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, out of that series, my favorite one is Eternal Fire, just because I like Jaden. Um, because they all, at some point, they all invoke a type of man that I had liked at the time when I was writing these books. So, Jaden is more what I like now. And it was just harder to write because he did something that most people would consider unforgivable. I don't want to kill a plot point. And
Yep.
I had to bring them back together over that. And Brooklyn helped me a lot with that.
Oh,
And then
nice.
I don't really have a favorite. I probably the one I'm working on right now is my favorite because I'm working on it right now. But
Right.
my well, the one people like the most is Seducing the Black Prince, which is my retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but it's not the Disney version of it.
Uh-huh.
It's the original version of it from the Brothers Grimm. So
Oh,
it's
nice.
much darker. He eats people. I mean, he eats his woman, but it's not in a bad way. And that's where the threesome happens, because he's split into. She has both sides of him. So that one's my most popular one and the one I like the most, I guess, right
Mm-hmm.
now. And then I have my Fae series, which is Dark Knight, Ancient Bloodlines, and Dawn of the Red Sun. And in that, yeah, I have them posted on top so I can remember. So I have posters
Right. That's
on top.
awesome.
Remember name. Um, and what that is basically the princesses are in love with the warriors of the Fae. And you just watch them just cause chaos in the land of the Fae. And this plot changes so much because it's not romance, it's adventure, and it has so much
Mm-hmm.
going on that I don't have a summary for the series yet. So it just all changes, and and that's where you get like a whole bunch of like monsters. They just decided they want to like kill stuff and go on a rampage. You get evil wizards and warlocks,
Nice.
and my favorite character I think out of that is Salvinius Cuvane, and he was basically molded after Sephiroth from Final Fantasy because that was one
Uh-huh.
of my first uh I guess 2D crushes, and it still is to this day. And so he was molded, so he has this white hair, he's this evil, but he's evil, like he's just
Right.
pure evil. There's no redeeming except for the fact that he's powerful and hot. But and then my friends love his name, and
Yeah, it's a cool
I don't know how
name.
I came up with that name. Don't ask me.
I was just gonna ask you how you came
I
up with that
was just
name.
brainstorming, and I'm like, throwing a whole bunch of just a whole bunch of stuff out there. I'm like, okay, this sounds cool. It looks nice on paper, so I'm just gonna go ahead and name him that, and it just stuck.
Nice. And just want to tell you guys, her books are Audible. And you can get them on the Kindle. So you can listen to them as
They're not on Audible.
oh, not on Audible?
They're not Audible.
Okay. Oh, I see, the Kindle edition. So you can read them on your Kindle. I have some of my Kindles are audio.
Not yet. I'm working on it. I'm so peculiar. I need to hear the voices, and
Oh,
and
you
it's
have to.
and then too, it's expensive because I'm not selling my rights.
I
So
don't blame you. I wouldn't sell my rights either.
it's my friend's going through another one of my author's friends. She's going through the Audible process, and it's just she's had a nightmare with it. So I'm just feeling it out, seeing how I feel about it.
Yeah, I was talking with Brooklyn on that as well. I know she wanted to get some of hers audiobooks. And she was talking about the issues and the worries about having them on audio. And I agree, you have to find the right voice. It's not just anybody that can come out of the woodwork to read your book. They have to have that sound to them that meshes with your storyline and the atmosphere of your book. That can ruin it. You get the wrong person, that can completely ruin it.
So many audiobooks have I've gotten rid of so many just because I didn't like the sound of the narration. And honestly, in all honesty, I'm more partial to male narrators with deep voices.
Uh-huh.
So I've listened to there's only a few women narrators that I've listened to where they weren't too high pitched. They weren't too, you
Right.
know.
I like male as well. Deeper, darker.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep. Like the guy that played Dexter from the Dexter TV show. He
Yes, Michael.
narrated. Yep, I have a few that he's narrated. I just like listening to him.
Oh yeah, I love the TV show Dexter. I like that. I'm actually enjoying the new season of what they brought out.
I haven't watched. I watched maybe the first season of Dexter. I didn't get into it. But one of my closest friends, he loves Dexter. Like he loves it. He even has a cookbook.
Oh, that's
Dexter
awesome.
cookbook. I didn't even know they had.
I didn't know he had a cookbook.
And it has some stuff in there. It's an actual cookbook, but it's not like human parts. It's like animals. It's real. Luxury. And
Oh,
expensive because everything just sounds like money. You know,
yeah.
it's like some weird sound and stuff. But it's a pretty book though. It's very pretty. It's nice to look at. But they do, and they tell like why he's having the meal. So there's like a little story for each meal. And he's like, you have to, and you hear it in the voice because I heard it in his voice as he was reading it.
Nice. Serial says the Dexter books by Jeff Lindsay are so good.
They're on my to be read pile. At some point, I'm gonna get to them. Maybe, I don't know. We all say that, but
yes. I have a huge lineup of books to read and listen to. Scott was saying that if you ever get a chance to visit the Stanley Hotel, yeah, that's what the Stanley Hotel is creepy. And he was saying that Jim Carrey checked out the Stanley Hotel in the middle of the night and never talked about his experience.
Ooh, I want to do it, but I see things occasionally, so I'm not sure how I would be able to. And I don't want to bring home a ghost with me. I had enough of them. So,
you don't want to bring home anything extra.
Yeah, I got enough weird stuff happening in my house sometimes. But no, I'll definitely Stanley Hotel. I gotta check that out. I know when I was in San Antonio, we stayed at the Manger Hotel, and it was supposed to be haunted.
Oh,
I didn't see anything, but I tried to convince my friends that we should book on the haunted side. Like, let's go, because I would just visit it.
yeah.
I didn't book there. I would just go there in the middle of the night. So I really didn't see anything. So I was like, oh, let's book. But they were chicken. They were chicken. They don't do
Ah, I think that would be fun.
hmm Yeah, there's a few haunted places I want to go to. I know in Europe there's this forest. I guess was the forest based off it, like the suicide forest? I think it was. Um, and there's also like this asylum, because my friend, she travels a lot and she's been there, and she's like, oh, you have to go. It's like you just feel it, and she doesn't really believe in all of that. So
Right.
she was like, you have to go. I'm like, yep, well, my luck, I'll be the one that causes the apocalypse or something to happen. So I don't know if you sure you want me to go.
Yep, it's like Supernatural. Those brothers cause the apocalypse all the
Yep.
time.
That would be me. So if it happens, it's because I decided to go and look at something and I accidentally knocked something over.
Or touch
And
it.
I touched it, like, ooh, what's this? No, I don't think I would touch anything. I think I'd be tempted. I'd be fighting the whole time, but I wouldn't take, wouldn't touch anything. I watched
Right.
I
Exactly. Never take anything home with you. You go to a place, you just leave it there. Don't
Yeah.
ever bring it home with you.
Yep, just ignore the voices saying pick it up. Not touching it.
Uh-huh. Scott says he lives in Texas. There is a haunted bridge a few miles away that is haunted. Look up the Maxdale Bridge.
The Maxdale Bridge. Ooh,
We'll have to look that up.
right? I have friends in Texas. I could drag them with me. Right now. Like, I love anything that can possibly scare me. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go check it out. And sometimes it might possibly, cause me to have a heart attack, but it's okay.
But and it also helps with creative stuff, right? So
Oh, it
go
does.
somewhere, it could help get those juices flowing for another book. I'm really gonna have to keep an eye out for your newest book. Yeah. The way you describe some of your demons in that, yes, definitely.
Oh yeah, it's called Seraphim's Laminate Infernum, and basically I made up my own crossbreed between a demon and an angel, because technically that really doesn't happen.
Right?
And so she's in hell. She's been in hell most of the book, and I just love diving into the princes of hell, and right now the main one for this one is Beelzebub,
Ooh.
and we're in gluttony, and I get to make all these gluttonous like characters, and he is gluttony, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
I should know this. Yeah, so he's gluttony. So you get to make all these gluttonous characters, but my favorite one was Lust, because
Ooh.
someone got trapped in Lust, and Lust was just so that she ended up in a sex pit with demons. They're just having sex, and there's blood and just icky stuff everywhere. They're demons. And then she meets Asmodeus, and he's this creature. I didn't make him what he looks supposed to look like, with the three heads, but I gave him the
Right.
characteristics of it. So he's androgynous, so he's hot.
Yeah.
He has like brown leathery bull skin that covers half of him in like that V type of thing. He has two penises. And he's like this massive, he has like goat legs or something. It was just so much fun writing that realm. And then the other spirits, they're being, I don't know, they're being raped by something, and they, like, when they reach climax, they burn into ash, and then they just come back because that's their torment for that part of hell. So that was so much fun to write. I had way too much
Oh,
fun.
that sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, you gotta let your creative ability just run amok. And I know a lot of people are afraid to do that. And I think some of the best stuff comes from when artists just allow their imagination to run friggin' wild and come up with these crazy things that would not happen in everyday life.
Oh yeah, I tell people it's dangerous to let my creative run amok, because it gets dark. It goes at 0 to 100 really quickly. It's just especially when I get Brooklyn's reactions on some of my stuff. It's like, oh, okay, and then she's like, and like the little side comments is so hilarious. So I'm excited to write the horror story once I finish this one, to get into the horror story. It's tentatively named Abigail.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I didn't name it because of Annabelle,
Right.
because Brooklyn had pointed that out to me, and I'm like, no, I was just like, her name just Abigail. I just fit with the character. So she basically was she was basically a sex trafficked, and she lived that life before she died, and then she became a vengeful spirit. I'm not sure if I'll make her full. I don't know if she's a
Yeah.
full demon yet. But she's a vengeful something, but she's obsessed with childhood because she didn't have one.
Right.
And so she was always dressed in like a Lolita outfit. So she'll have a Lolita when she's a child form, and all of that. So that's as far as I got with it.
Ooh.
And then I have to write some more about it because the house is cursed, and there's some other main characters too that further the plot for it.
Nice.
And then I got to figure out how many people I'm gonna kill. I'm gonna kill everybody or not.
Yeah, no, that is pretty awesome. Thank you, Princess Unicorn Nipples, for the $2. I appreciate that. Well, what a colorful name.
I like that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we are getting about that time. I don't want to take up too much more of your Sunday, but I do have a couple of questions. And these are my fun questions. If you can be any monster in the realm, any monster, what monster would you be? Mm-hmm. You can even pick one of your own.
No, my monsters are tormented. I don't want to be one of them. You know what? I'd probably be something that involves having huge wings. So I'd be somewhere between a really evil demon. I mean, like an evil angel, like just
Oh,
right on the cusp of being a demon.
a dark angel.
Yeah, I'd be like a dark angel because I just can't help it. I'm drawn to it. But I love anything with big wings and being able to fly. The bigger the wings, the better. So just
Right.
massive wings. And then I guess after that, maybe I don't know, just random, just pick one.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Anything with wings is and even like those I like the gargoyle type of wings where they have like a bat kind of when they have the hooks on the tips of their wings.
Mm-hmm.
I like those.
Oh yeah, the gargoyle wings. Yeah, those are nice. I don't know, I'm partial to the feathers. Scott says he'd be Godzilla.
Yep, that's gotta be Godzilla. Destroying everything in sight. You'd start with Washington, D.C. Yes, only if only. Now, I know I ask this question all the time to my horror friends. Who do you prefer, if you prefer any of them, Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers?
Jason Voorhees.
Yes. Suck it,
Hands down,
cereal.
Jason. I'm a Jason girl.
Yes.
I love Jason.
Yes, me too. And serial killer is he loves Michael. So anytime someone says Jason, I'm like, yes, suck it. Harjar, I know you're coming in towards the end. This is Layla. She's an amazing artist and author. Definitely check out her links there. There is more links in the description as well. I couldn't get the bot to fit them all in. So down below in the description, there's even more. She is currently working on a new book, and the demon is sexy, and he's got 2 dicks. Yes, 2, and it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited for this book. Are there anybody or you want to shout out? I wanted to ask, who does the cover art of your books? And I forgot to ask earlier.
So my cover artist is Dark Imaginarium. Her name is Sylvia. She's in Belgium.
Oh, wow.
She does great work. I'm so picky, and I needed to find an artist, one that wouldn't overcharge me, because I know it's always a scam a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But I needed quality work too, and someone who could. So she's great. So she's the one that's done all of my covers except for Seducing the Black Prince. Seducing the Black Prince was done by Nadege Richards. She's another author, but she owns Indie Ink Designs, I believe.
Oh.
so those are who do my covers currently, but you always got
That's
to have,
awesome.
backup plans.
Oh, for sure. You always have to have an array just in case if one can't do it, can't get it done, you have somebody else to get it done. But yeah, and anybody else that you'd like to shout out?
Um,
Any upcoming projects or besides the current book that you're working on?
um, so I always gotta give a shout out to Brooklyn because she's just I love her so much. She's so sweet. Like that's my buddy.
She is.
Um, and a shout out to you for having me on here. I really appreciate it. I like I said before, I've been waiting to talk to somebody about horror for so long. I just want to talk to different people about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, other than that, not really. It's just been a pleasure to be on here and to talk with everybody and everything like that. It's a great way to start my Sunday.
Oh, it is a great way to chit chat about horror, and I love the fact that we had you on the show. We got to talk about your love for horror, your art, your artistic side, your writing side. I'd love to have you back on just to chit chat about horror, favorite movies, dislikes, and all of that stuff.
Of course, I can go days.
Same.
I can go days. So anytime, anytime.
I agree. I can definitely do that as well. I love horror. I live and breathe it. And it's always nice to be able to speak to fellow females about horror. I have a lot of guys into horror, and nothing wrong with that. But it's just nice to meet other women that enjoy horror, especially the gore horror side of things.
Yep, definitely.
Because there's not many. There is not many.
I haven't met it a lot.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Next Sunday, guys, and I'm probably going to kill her name because I have no idea how to pronounce it. We're going to be speaking with Donea. She is an artist as well. She's a painter. She does some beautiful work. We'll be discussing her artwork and horror with her next Sunday here on Coffee Chat of Horrors. And I'm sure Donea Coles. I'm not sure if you know who she is. I know Brooklyn recommended her to me.
Mm-hmm. I know, she's my friend as well. She has some great stuff.
Am I saying her name correctly?
I'll be honest, I don't know.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to have to ask her because I've been speaking with her via email, and I need to ask her the pronunciation because I feel really shitty when I pronounce people's names wrong, and I'm horrible.
I think it's right. I've never had a verbal conversation. It's just been all Facebook, and we're in the same writers group and everything. So I'm not sure.
When you're typing things out, it's completely different. You won't have to worry about pronunciation, but when you're sitting there talking to them.
Yeah, her artwork is interesting.
Her art, yeah, I'm loving her artwork. It's phenomenal. I think everyone here will enjoy it as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Layla, for coming on the show. I greatly appreciate it. I had a ton of fun, and I will definitely keep you informed on coming on again, and we'll just chit chat horror.
Oh yes, of course. Of course. I can't wait. And thank you for having me. It's been great talking with you guys.
Oh, of course. I enjoyed it. I'm sure the Horde enjoyed it as well. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and thank you again. And I will be keeping my eye open on that book of yours because it's very, very interesting.
No problem. Thank you guys.
Have a good Sunday.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. She was amazing. Definitely an awesome interview. I had a ton of fun talking to Layla J. Omorose. She is a author and an artist. Please make sure you head over to her socials. Give her some love, follow, share. If you're interested in any of her books, right there, you can get it on Amazon as well down below in the description. Since I couldn't fit all of the social links in the bot because the bot is super limited. It's a cloud-based bot, not like Firebot. So down below, you'll be able to get your hands on her dolls. These dolls are friggin' amazing. There was one that she did of female Pinhead. It was I loved it. She sold it, but I love that one. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for chit-chatting with me and Layla. It's always nice to wake up on a Sunday and talk with another amazing women. And this is the last Sunday in March, and March is Women in History Month. And here on Coffee Chat of Horrors, it was Women in Horror History. That pinhead one, look, yeah, I agree, Joy Toy. She looks amazing, amazing. And she has a Pennywise. There's another one, really, really nice. Yeah, it's really cool. You guys go check her out. If you have Facebook, go show her some love, join her community. You guys have an amazing rest of your Sunday. I will be live over on Twitch Monday morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We're going to dive into some more video games. Thank you, Harjar. I appreciate the compliment. It's nice and warm here today, and the grandbabies are in full energy. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the support. I hope you guys have a rest of your awesome, awesome weekend. Why do you do this to me all of the time?